Morning, sir.
Good morning everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir.
We will wait for 1 more minute because the number of students who have joined are very less. Only 12 students have joined so far. Once the number improves, we will start. Yes, good morning everyone. We will start with our today's session on corporate governance. So yesterday we were discussing, or we can say that for the last 3 lectures or 3 days, we had discussed the corporate governance guidelines of a IT firm, which is called as Infosys. Infosys corporate governance guideline or document related to corporate governance of Infosys company that we had discussed. So we were just comparing that whatever we had discussed in unit number 2 of our chapter of corporate governance, whether all that particular points which we had discussed in unit number 2, whether they are included in the corporate governance guidelines of Infosys that we had discussed. We had discussed the board composition of Infosys, diversity of board of Infosys, then different type of directors at Infosys, the role and responsibility of Infosys board of director, separation of role of CEO and chairman of board of director at Infosys, relationship between directors and executives, then board charter, meetings and processes, directors training and development. That is, we had discussed under orientation of new directors at Infosys. Then how the evaluation of board of directors and board committee is done at Infosys, that we had discussed. So far we have discussed, and yesterday only we had discussed that at the last point which was included in the Infosys guideline was review, that the board of directors may make a change in the existing corporate governance guidelines as and when it feels. So that was related to Infosys. Now we will be taking up a new topic which is called as SEBI. SEBI, we all know it is. What is SEBI? Yes, anyone? What is SEBI?
Security and Exchange Board of India.
Securities and Exchange Board of India. Now, before we proceed with our session, it is important for not only finance specialization students to be aware of certain terms which are generally discussed in finance specialization subjects or courses. One of the term which is very important and which will be there, we have been talking about SEBI from our first unit, and it will be there in the corporate governance till our last unit. So students from other specialization, it is expected that they should also have certain basic knowledge about certain financial terms which we will be taking up in corporate governance. One is, say, the SEBI, how it originated, that we will be discussing in today's session. The other common things which we all know should be that what is balance sheet, how a balance sheet is checked or read, then what are shares, what are securities, what are debenture, what is paid up capital, how shares are released, what is offer price. So all these basic concepts, or what is Bombay Stock Exchange, what is National Stock Exchange, all these things, it is expected that a student who is doing MBA should be aware of, irrespective of his or her specialization. Here, it is not expected that a student from, say, HR specialization or marketing specialization or from BA specialization is excused if he or she is not aware of these basic concepts, which generally it is felt that only finance specialization student should be aware of. So it's a general subject, and it is expected that all the students of MBA should have general information or basic information related to these particular concepts. Now we will start with today's session or today's topic, which is called as SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Now, in the year 1988, this Securities and Exchange Board of India was established by the government. It was established to monitor the stock exchange of the country, how they are functioning, the rules and regulations related to the operation of stock exchange were to be regulated by an independent authority, and the government thought that it should set up an independent authority in the name of Security and Exchange Board of India. Now, this particular SEBI or Securities and Exchange Board of India, this authority was set up on the lines of Securities and Investment Board of United Kingdom. So we followed, the government studied the working of Securities and Investment Board of UK, how it is helping the country in regulating their stock exchange at UK. So the government thought that it will be better if in India also there is a authority which will regulate the functioning or operation of stock exchange. So on that basis, in 1988, the Securities and Exchange Board of India was established. But after 4 years, a major breakdown took place at the stock exchange, sorry, and that is known as a scam, which was regarded as a very famous scam. Every one of you, I think, might be aware of that, and that scam was known as Harshad Mehta. Harshad Mehta scam, yes. Harshad Mehta was a share broker. Everyone might be aware of the story of Harshad Mehta. So he was a normal stock broker, share broker, and he was so sharp, or intellectually he was, we can say, he was very sharp. He studied the loopholes, or he used the loopholes of various laws to his advantages, and he manipulated the price of various shares, and he conducted, or he made a particular scam which was known as the biggest scam, and that was Harshad Mehta's scam. At that particular time, before 1992, when the scam took place, or when the scam was say opened, or when the government came to know about that particular scam, before that a normal stockbroker was known as the biggest stockbroker of India, and he was also called as big bull of stock exchange. So because of that particular scam, the government thought that it should empower. In 1988, although SEBI was established, but it was not empowered with enough, say, authorities or enough controlling rights or regulating rights to control the working of the stock exchange, as well as the working of the stock brokers who are working in the stock exchange. So at that particular time, in 1992, the government thought that it should empower so that it can control such type of scams happening in future. It can be avoided if enough power is given to the SEBI. So in 1992, various regulatory powers were given, and the existing CICA. Now, CICA was an act which is called as Controller of Capital Issues Act. So earlier, before 1992, the Controller of Capital Issues Act was the act which was regulating the functioning or operations at the stock exchange of the country. So the government repealed this act, repealed is revoked or cancelled this act, and they established all the powers, or they gave all the powers or more powers to SEBI, so that it can control or protect the interest of the shareholders in a better manner. The government also provided a provision for the constitution of board of SEBI, and the provision says that the board of SEBI should consist of 6 members who will be regulating, or who will be supervising or monitoring the stock exchange of the country. That particular board should consist of 6 members comprising of chairman. 1 member out of 6 will be called as the chairman of that particular chairman of SEBI. 2 members. Now these 2 members will be the officials of the ministry of the central government, and these officials should be from finance and law department. So 1 chairman, 2 members. These members should be from central ministries from finance department and law department, and 2 members who are professionals in the field of, say, securities, shares, debentures, or they are expert in the working of capital market. So 2 professionals who have expertise or special knowledge relating to securities market, and the last member, or the 6th member of the SEBI, should be a member from RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. So that is the constitution of SEBI. Now SEBI is entrusted with certain function. the government has clearly laid down the functions of Securities and Exchange Board of India, and they have to follow these functions. They have to do these particular functions. First function is regulating the business in stock exchange and other securities market. Now, this is the prime authority appointed by the government, which will regulate the business which is conducted, which is performed in the stock exchange. So whatever guidelines that will be released by the SEBI are to be followed by the stock exchange. It is compulsory on that one. Second function of SEBI, which is listed in the provisions of SEBI, functions of SEBI, is registering and regulating working of stockbrokers and sub-brokers. Now, Harshad Mehta scam took place because there were loopholes in regulating the working of stockbrokers or sub-brokers. So, to avoid such type of scam to take place in future, one of the function which was given to SEBI was registering and regulating the working of stockbrokers. They have to register the stockbrokers as well as they have to regulate the working of stockbroker. Stockbroker has to perform duties as per the guidelines provided by the SEBI. They cannot go outside the guidelines while conducting their business as stockbroker or sub-broker in the stock exchange. That is the second function. Now, third function is prohibiting fraudulent and unfair trade practices relating to securities market. Prohibiting is, say, they prohibit, they avoid, or they say what we can say is it prohibits fraudulent and unfair trade practices. Fraudulent is the practice which will result in a fraud, or unfair trade practice. Unfair means which can be partial to the shareholders. So unfair trade practice is to be avoided or prohibited, and fraudulent trade practices are also to be prohibited. So they will mention in the guidelines for the stockbrokers that what are the fraudulent or what can be called as fraudulent practices, and what are the practices which can be called as unfair trade practices. Next function is very important function which is being given to SEBI by the government under law, is promoting investors education and training. So basic function of SEBI is to promote investors education. So they have to educate the investors that when they are investing their money in the stock market or in the capital market, what type of precautions they should be taking, how they can safely invest their money in the stock market, what are the various rights of a common shareholder in case of any violation of right of a shareholder, which and where the authority to contact to resolve the complaint of the shareholders. So these are certain things which is the function of SEBI when we talk about promoting investors education, because the small investors are to be educated in the functioning of stock exchange, how the stock market functions, what are the risks involved in the stock market, how to study those risk factors, and how to minimize the risk of small shareholders. It is expected that SEBI should educate the small shareholders. Now, all these with the help, how they can educate. Now, if you go to the SEBI's website, they give certain guidelines. So it is expected that time to time shareholders should, or a person who is interested in investing money in share market or stock exchange, should visit SEBI's website to know about the rights of shareholders, how the rights are to be protected, and in case of any complaint, which are the department of SEBI where they can go for resolution of their complaint. Next function is prohibiting insider trading. Now, insider trading, we can say insider trading is a type of insider trading, not training, sorry. It is insider trading. Insider means a person who is inside a particular, we can say, who is working in the stock exchange or in the capital market. And trading means, and he is trading on particular securities. Now, insider trading means insider is a person who, because of his position, may get sensitive information or confidential information related to the release of new offers of a company. So insider trading is prohibited means any person who may have access to such type of sensitive information related to the release of new shares or securities, that particular person is prohibited from trading those shares or those offers. So because this particular concept was not there, insider trading was not prohibited, that was one of the reasons why the scam of Harshad Mehta came into being or took place. So insider trading is prohibited. Now, next function of SEBI is regulatory function of stock exchange. So this is the prime SEBI is considered as the prime regulatory authority which is expected to regulate the functioning of the stock exchange. They can undertake inspection, they can conduct inquiries, they can conduct audits of the stock exchange in case they feel that the particular stock exchange is not following the guidelines of the SEBI. At that particular time, they can conduct inquiries, they can undertake inspections, or they can do audits of the stock exchange also to find out whether everything is as per the norms, as per the guidelines of SEBI or not. If not, action can be taken against the person who is involved into that particular misdoings. So these are some of the functions of SEBI. Now, SEBI is functioning, or SEBI is working with the help of 5 departments. It is said that SEBI has 5 operational departments. Every department has different role than the other department. Apart from these 5 departments, 2 more departments are there, and these departments are called as legal department and investigation department. as the name itself says, legal department. Now, legal department is which will be giving the legal advice to SEBI that whether the company or whether the stock exchange is following the guidelines of the SEBI or not. That is the working of legal department, as well as they are supposed to provide the legal assistance to SEBI when they are investigating certain misdoings or frauds or unfair trade practices in stock exchange or in companies also. Now, the next department is called as investigation department. So name itself says investigation means we all know what investigation is. If a complaint is forwarded to SEBI regarding any mishappening or misdoing of the operations or misdoing of businesses, for that particular stock exchange, a investigation can be arranged or investigation can be set up by the investigation department. So these are legal department and investigation department are considered as additional department than the basic 5 departments of the SEBI. So in all, we can say that SEBI has 7 operational departments. 5 are called as main department, 1 is legal, other one is investigation. They are called as additional department. So what are the 5 main operational departments that we will be taking up? So the first department which helps the SEBI in transacting its business is called as the primary market policy, self-regulating organization, and investor grievances and guidance department. The name itself says that it is the functioning of this particular department is related to primary market policies. It is related to investor grievances and it is related to guidance department. So investor grievances are complaints. Investor is a person who is investing in the capital market. So in case a person who is investing his money in capital market has certain grievances, has certain complaints, those complaints can be forwarded to this particular department, which is called as the primary market policy, investor grievances and guidance department. So this particular department looks after all the policy matters and regulatory issues with respect to registration at primary market, then portfolio management services, investment advisors, all these, and guidance education. All these functions are to be controlled, or these are the functions of this particular department, which is called as primary market policy and investor grievances and guidance department. Now the second market is called as the issue management department. Now this department as issue management, this department is related to the letters of, is responsible for checking or for verifying all the prospectus. Now I hope that everyone is aware of this term prospectus also. It is very much related to what we generally call prospectus. Now suppose 1 year back when you took admission in college, along with application form, you might have received, or you should have, or you have received a document, or say 10 pages document, which is called as prospectus of the college. Now, what is included in the prospectus? The name of the college, the rules and regulations of the college, the departments of the college, the syllabus of MBA, what will be taught in semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, semester 4. So in brief, all the general rules and regulation related to college is shared in a document which is called as prospectus. Now, same thing happens in the company also. When a company is releasing its shares in the market, they also release a prospectus. Now, that particular prospectus gives a brief information about the rules and regulations of the company and about the company. So the second department is related, it takes care of that particular thing, and that department is called as the issue management department. Now, the next department is called as the secondary market policy, operation and exchange administration, new investment products, and insider trading department. Now, this particular department is considered or is given a role of, say, regulating the or monitoring role, whether everything is as per rules of the SEBI or not. We have talked about insider trading. This is the department which will be taking care that no insider trading takes place in the stock exchange. Now, the next department is called as secondary market exchange administration, inspection, and non-member intermediaries department. Now, it looks after the small stock exchange of Guwahati, Indore, Mangalore, etc. It is also responsible for inspection of all stock exchange, registration, regulation, and monitoring of the sub-brokers. So the secondary market exchange administration and inspection department, this department, the general role of this department or the general function of this department is related to the inspection of smaller stock exchanges which are at Guwahati, Indore, Mangalore. So smaller, wherever we are having, the country is having small stock exchange, these are to be monitored, these are to be controlled by this particular department. And the last department is related to institutional investment, mergers, acquisition, and publication, and international department. Now, this particular department looks after the policy, registration, and monitoring of foreign institutional investment. So foreign investments are to be regulated by this particular department. Legal department, we have already discussed legal department and investigation department. So these are certain departments, we can say 5 plus 2, all 7 departments. These 7 departments helps the SEBI in transacting its business. Main business of SEBI is to monitor or to regulate whether all the guidelines which are being set up by the SEBI for the efficient or effective or transparent functioning of capital market of the country or stock exchange of the country, whether it is being followed as it is or not. If not, action can be initiated against those who are not following the guidelines of SEBI, and penalty can be imposed on those companies or on those persons who are involved in such type of misdoings. So these are these are the information related to the departments of SEBI and how this particular organization or authority came into existence or came into being. So now I think only two for taking up the next topic, just an important instruction or important announcement that you might have received the link for the second lecture of today. It will start at 8:15. Please communicate this to your other friends also, because the number of students who have joined today is very less. Only 30 students have so far joined. So please convey it to your other friends also that 8:15 your lecture, your session on decision science will start. And decision science is considered as one of the tough subject of this particular semester. For the last so many years, we have been observing that most of the failures of students takes place in this particular subject only. That was the only reason why director sir initiated a request that, or he suggested you three methods of teaching. You need to say, you were supposed to select one of the method, and I think everything has been finalized, and green board was the suggestion of most of the students. So it will be starting very shortly in a minute or two. So please convey it to your friends also. I'll be again posting the information or notice on our group itself, right? So it's a very important subject. Don't be absent in this particular subject. This subject is related to practicals, statistics, mathematical calculations. So it is not a theory subject. So please convey it to your friends also. So if you have any query related to today's session, you can ask, because I think any moment we may, the lecture may get over. Okay, so no query is there. So tomorrow we will be taking up the power and scope of SEBI, as well as the guidelines and reforms introduced by SEBI. We will be discussing primary securities market, and we will be discussing the secondary security market, that what is primary security market and what is secondary securities market. That we will be discussing in our next lecture, right? So tomorrow there will be no lecture, as it is Ganesh Chaturthi. So tomorrow there will be no lecture. On Sunday, we will be having lecture for finance specialization students. So international finance will be there. 2 lectures will be there on Sunday for finance specialization students only, not other students. And for tomorrow's, so tomorrow there will be no lecture on account of Ganesh Chaturthi. On Monday we will have regular lectures. Okay, so that was the